Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Thursday Rodeo Roundtable. And we've got everybody here tonight. So awesome. We got Kim Side Money Plans. We got Hannibal is Hungry. John Dash Theory TV. And Gary Middleton, GaryZapps.com. So the whole team is here tonight. What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Good.
Yeah. There's some stuff we're going to talk about that's not fun. So,
Not fun.
Hopefully
It's a
that
fun
just
show.
is enticing you even more like clickbait. So, but well, I mean, it's got to be known. It's just it's crazy stuff. And I guess we'll bring some. I'll help you bring it around as much as I've understood it anyway. What's going on, because there's a reason behind it too. But we got some other stories too. I think we need to touch on this for sure. What's up, Joe from Let's Play DoorDash? What's up, Nick? Hey, what's up, Thomas? What's up, Marissa? What's up, Marcus? And the other people watching, which I can see there's
Did
a
you see
handful,
Nick? Nick was in there too.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, very top.
Oh.
Nick's there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hit that like
Hey,
button. I see more. I
Yeah,
see more
smack
viewers
that
than
like.
likes.
Come on. Get us up there in the feed, because we always do. This is what you guys need to know. This stuff is a little crazy tonight, though. There's some weird stuff going on. So, okay, I want to start with. I just want to talk about a little bit of this. So, the DOL is going in like 17 directions right now. The Department of Labor, and we've been talking about this. I'm like, what are they going to do? So, again, this isn't a political statement. However, I have to make a comment that all administrations fail to some degree. So it's not like I'm picking on one. Biden's is not doing very well. That's as nicely as I'll put it. And usually, Gary and I were talking about this before the show. Usually a president comes into office with three major key points that were their key points in their campaign when they got elected. And they need to, on average, a president leaves a legacy of doing one of the three. Like really, really doing something with one, maybe a little with another or whatever, but really only one. They get one really hardcore pass. For Obama, I would say it was Obamacare, clearly. For Biden, the two of his three are already kind of gone. His advisors, everybody these aren't doable anymore. So all that's left is his push for unions. That is all that's still in scope to gather. So that even makes all the things we've talked about before 100 times more important now, because that's the only shot he has to leave a legacy now. And that's, unless he goes a second term, but for this term, that's all he has. And so here we go. The DOL is going after the misclassification. We know that, but now it's golf caddies, tennis pros, sports editors, referees, security representatives for the NFL, tennis officials, lacrosse officials, cheerleaders, crew members, diagnostic team members. They are all going to be needed to become employees. And these are not jobs that can become employees. It doesn't work. They need to be able to hold the status that they have in this country since the beginning.
Well, I would say some of these could be employees.
Okay, but they haven't been till now. There's
Right.
a test that tests if they are. If
Well,
anything,
like a pro football cheerleader. Come on, that can't be an employee.
I think it sounds like they have to redefine the word employee.
Right. Well, here's the thing too. Like, have any of us ever been a pro football cheerleader? There might be a lot of reasons involved there as to why.
I say I was.
Just John.
Just you.
I've seen up in the air.
I've seen some stories, particularly with the cheerleaders, that they are upset at the NFL for. So it's similar to UFC fighters or WWE athletes. That's a back and forth as well. They're kind of similar to our situation. They sign contracts. Mm-hmm. They can't go and do whatever they want necessarily, especially if you're like a UFC fighter. You can't fight for another promotion, but you get no benefits. You're a prize fighter, but you still have the UFC has control. So it's complicated to say.
Well,
the least.
here's the other twist to that though, Hannibal, and this is messed up, man. So here's the other thing the DOL thought was a good idea. All non-competes are now non-existent. So
Even as a W-2
non-competes
employee.
will no longer hold up in court.
Right.
Okay.
No, would they say that's
Doesn't
official,
sound
or
good.
they say that's
No, but they got the majority of it today. They've got the count to push it.
That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting.
Doesn't mean it'll
that
pass, but they can
impacts
push
like
it.
a lot of
Well-
big Wall Street firms and a lot of things that have a lot of money behind it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's John, right here. I mean, like I think you'll appreciate this. The DOL. These are all happening today. An FSI survey shows independent advisors would retire before being classified as employees, as the DOL mulls tens of thousands of comments on proposed rule change. So they're saying that 20% quit before even having a first day.
Wow.
I mean, this isn't a joke, guys. This is and then it's more people entering the workforce in a recession. I mean, this is everything about this is backwards, and we're not even to the gig economy stuff yet, which gets pretty ugly. But this makes what we're going through even look not as bad, in my opinion. But it's something that I felt like we needed to bring up and at least talk about tonight, because they're going after the world, or they're going after the whole country.
So I'm looking at this. They're saying as justification for the proposed ban, the FTC contends that employee non-competes suppresses wages, hampers innovation, and block entrepreneurs from starting new businesses.
But here's the thing:
that's
if
fair.
they
But I
want to
feel
make
like
us all employees, we're not going to have new businesses anyway.
Mhm.
Gary,
But I
I
feel
mean,
like
Well, no,
the
I
people
said
who are
that
gonna
right
take
before
a-
the show. I
And
said
so
that
I
right
feel-
before the show to Steve too. Is the same reason? Like, it would be more beneficial for anyone with a trade skill to start their own business than it would be to work for anybody else.
right, but what Hannibal even just read is they're doing this for us so that we can start our own businesses. No, you're
Right.
not. No, you are not. This is everything that would stop. And like you were, I mean, I think Hannibal, you just even mentioned trade secrets. I would argue the other side that you shouldn't have trade secrets. You know, by working, if there's no if you can't have non-competes, how do you, like Gary was saying, we were talking about working for a tech company. How do you work for two local tech companies that are that are fighting with one another?
Yeah.
Well,
Is it
I mean that. Go ahead, Kim.
No, I was gonna say, is it just me, or do I feel like it's another way for the rich to get even richer because now they can work for multiple companies at the same time?
I honestly don't think it's that, because I feel like the rich that are like that kind of rich are making this decision based on the blue collar and up workers.
There's just a lot of things that I think are just to be very hard, because I think a lot of like the companies, the tech companies, a lot of the high level, and pretty much most of these organizations, whether it be even finance, they have a non-compete heavy across that world. So
Yeah,
I mean,
Well,
it'd be interesting. to
right.
see how that gets
Exactly,
enforced.
John. There's international stuff that would majorly happen. Some of these corporations are around the globe.
The first thing that pops in my head is was it the Google and the autonomous guy, wherever he went to another company and used all the trade secrets.
Oh, Levowski,
Yeah, Levowski.
Anthony Levowski.
Yeah, I mean, if they have no non-competes, then whatever happened to him for that, he would have been able to get away with it.
You know, I mean, sadly, other than his fine, even though we were told jail time, he kind of did. He was supposed to do 4 years. He did like what, 10 months in like a nicer place than I live.
But
his prison was better than my house.
But without the non-competes and things like of that nature, then he would have been able to do it to 10 companies instead of just one.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I got autonomous software.
Right.
I'll give it to you.
It's the gig economy in a W-2 model. They're saying, yeah, go get as many W-2s as you want. How does that work?
Yeah, but I still think they won't be able to share different things because they're still going to have intellectual property laws, and they're not changing that. So there's still
Of course they
intellectual
are, but
property there.
but I think that'll come down to you're going to need to commit the crime before anything can be done about it, because the non-compete isn't going to hold up. That portion won't
Right.
hold up.
I know that Biden likes to brag and boast about the unemployment rate being low. And it just seems tone deaf considering, it's maybe low, but it's still everyone's unhappy with their current position and the wages are still kind of stagnant as well. So I don't know if this is a way to, make us all employees so he can continue to bolster those numbers to say he has the most jobs or whatever. But it definitely sounds political. And obviously, like what Kim was saying, someone's getting paid or going to benefit greatly from this. And it's probably not, obviously it's not going to be us, but someone's profiting from this rule change. I mean,
Yeah. And but also you guys all have to remember that whether you agree with it or not, at least the guy, and here's where I got to give some counterbalance on it, because at least nothing's changed. This was Joe Biden day one when he got into politics. And
That's
this
true.
is Joe Biden today, 50, 60 years later in a career in politics. He
It's
hasn't
definitely
budged on his union
supercharged.
stance.
It's definitely supercharged from his
Right, but his
running
union,
and-
everybody needs to be an employee thing. That's been his mantra.
He kind of like he went with Bernie, and then it's just the way it's been going. It's
Yeah.
like it's going
But
in that
Hannibal, I mean,
direction.
like, you tell me, man, because honestly, and anybody else in any of the cities you're in too. Yeah, I mean, all of us actually. But I mean, in New York, are you not? In Denver, we have a big homeless problem. I'm seeing 3 times the homeless now.
we have
So,
tons.
we've got this great jobs rate. Is part of that equation. I know it's not, but I feel like part of it's like it shouldn't be, but because they always say numbers that grew, that coming back, but there's businesses going under everywhere. So
we're not. He's I think he tweeted a couple of days ago about the unemployment rate, but we're not feeling how great the economy is in terms of it's great. It's unemployment is low. When I see this the soup bread lines. A lot of churches once a week they provide free food. Those lines are around the block, multiple locations. Homeless problem that it's an issue, obviously in the West Coast. So
but even just areas where you would see homeless in New York, just like encampment type areas under bridges that you know of, when you're walking around,
trains,
don't you see more of them now?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I do too.
So I'll say this: I think the unemployment rate being low is counterintuitive. So it's low not because it's such a great job market. It's low because things are so expensive and people have to work. People don't really have any option. In addition, people are getting multiple jobs, or they're working, a job in a side hustle.
Yeah.
So it's low, but it's not because everybody wants to work. It's more because everybody has to work very hard right now.
The eggs are expensive now, so I'm gonna have to go get another job.
I need a job so I can make an omelet.
Well, okay. Here's the thing, though. Like everybody's saying unemployment rate's low, but it's not really low. Whenever you look at it,
it's low. I think it's low when you're going towards the pandemic, coming out of it looks good after the pandemic.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying 2018 we was at
but
3.8, and then all the way until 2020 is whenever it jumped up to 15%.
Right.
So,
which was the pandemic. And that's probably one of the all-time highs next to the depression.
Can you really you can't really say it's low if it's just balancing back out to what it was before a pandemic.
That's politics, baby. Look what the other guy did. He sucked. Look at even though it was going to, obviously, he didn't have to do anything. And it would have rebounded if we had the restrictions pulled back. But that's just how politics is.
But also let's remember that 10,000 Microsoft jobs this week again. Like it's one thing after the next. I mean, it was 1,700 Uber or DoorDash jobs, or 1,250, and now it was 10,000 Hannibal, 10,000
jobs.
10,000 Microsoft gone. I mean, Hannibal made that post. I made a comment on it. I'm like, man, you need to, like, a Hannibal style video too. Like, you need to make a video on how safe is the W2.
I mean, and I think that's a really, like I said, I thought it was a really great idea, because, and maybe we can talk about it here in terms of, you really should have an idea. And I know many of us, especially in the chats, check out our videos, have a W2, because with John saying we have multiple jobs. you really want to take a step back and make sure that you have job security. Like you have a job that is going to last, and obviously the next 12 to 6 months, or 6 to 12 months.
Is there such thing as job security anymore?
I was
feel
just
like
But there's not in the long
never
term now.
such thing anymore.
It
Like that doesn't
depends.
exist.
Maybe like a
It's
teacher
just a
after
more
tenure
secure
kind of
job.
thing.
Yeah, like I'll say New York City jobs, many of them. If you're a cop, if you're a
or
fireman,
probably even your wife, Hannibal.
yeah, she works for the transportation.
Okay, so she probably is safe, right?
She's safe, right?
Yeah,
Just
okay.
because you need to keep the system moving, 24-hour system.
Yeah.
So there are elements, but I do agree with you, Kim, that you never want to feel too secure, obviously, no matter what. So you want to make sure you're saving, and you want to make sure that you put yourself in the best positions. But if you know that you're in a retail space and you are in a, I don't know, let's say if you're in a store and you see a lot of people not coming in that store, well, you have a good chance that, hey, maybe this may go in a bad direction. So be prepared for that rather than thinking, well, I got a job, I'm good. You may not be good in the next couple of months.
Just
Yeah,
real
That's
quick,
also
going back
makes you
to
good at
the
your job.
now that I'm thinking about the unemployment rate, I feel like, and maybe it's just me, but I feel like the unemployment number is understated. I feel like it should be lower for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong.
Lower unemployment?
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, like, I was looking this up too because I wanted to make sure I was right. They don't actually calculate everyone that's unemployed. They only
Yeah.
calculate
Those
the
that claim
people
on the system.
The
that
participating.
claim on the system. So say you've been claiming for 2 years and you're no longer eligible.
Right.
They
They
no
consider
longer
you
put you in the
working.
count. Right.
Yeah.
They no longer put you into the count of unemployed.
Yeah.
But the gig
Yeah.
economy jobs are factored into that, right? Like full time.
Gig economy? Or what?
Yeah, like if you're an Uber driver, are you
Well, at the
on
end of
that-
the year, the censuses always catch up with the independent contractors and bring them into the unemployment rates and make it level and stuff. They're all doing that all the time. But I think what Gary's saying is all those people who collected unemployment through the pandemic and still haven't gone back to a job,
right?
they're now counted as they have a job.
Right. Even though they don't.
No,
Because they
okay.
can no longer collect unemployment.
Right. So, but whether they have a job or not, that's not, nobody cares about that because they need it for the stat. They need to
Right.
say that the unemployment rate's lower.
Got it.
But Kim, I'm surprised that you said lower.
I don't know. It's just
I'm just curious. What made you say that or think
I
that?
don't know. It's just like I just feel like just by what I've been reading and what's been kind of going on. It's just like I said, just a feeling. Like I said, I could be wrong.
I think it should be
Again,
higher.
I'm asking because I think it's always market to market too. Maybe
Right.
you're seeing more people in
Yeah.
all the places you used to see nobody when we all were seeing nobody
Yeah.
working. Like even
Yeah.
here in Denver, yeah, people are back, and I think things don't close at 4. Walgreens would never be closed at 4 on a Saturday like it was 6-7 months ago, even when we were talking about it. Like that kind of stuff is over. So
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying about it. It kind of looks like it, but I wonder how many places have gone out of business too.
Yeah. There could be so many deciding factors that I don't know. Maybe even things we're not even thinking of.
Yeah, we all know about the Great Resignation. That was going on in the earlier part of 2022.
Yeah.
And I don't know that all those people went back to work.
So
And
I
even-
think the nature of employment's changed. I think that's kind of went from being at a job or a W-2 to being a lot more independent things. Because a lot of people started businesses during that Great Resignation.
Yeah. But that's, but I got to say, man, figure it out and take the correct count because that's what this country is. We're allowed. That's why, all of us are from here. But people come here because you have a chance to do something. I know that seems very skewed these days because corporations and whatnot and how much of a chance do you really have? But you do. You have an opportunity to start a business online, find something niche in an area that it works, whatever. You can. But if they keep slapping these type things down, you're hearing the numbers. If the DOL does this contract, the independent advisors, 20 of them quit before the first day. These are lifers.
Right.
That's a big deal. That means that's a good stat to read. 20% of people who are lifers in a career, and we were just talking about how not many people go into a job and that ends up being their lifer career. They'll move jobs and they'll move companies throughout.
Right.
These are people who are lifers, and 20% of them won't do one day as an employee. So that's a big deal. That's a hard read, because to say that, no, I already know how that will go and I won't even try it. I mean, I don't know. To me, that's a big deal. I think that everything's going wrong right now. I think I was saying right as everybody was getting here that I think it's a good thing almost that like all the sports that I was reading, and also in that sports group, is pro golfers. And I was saying that I'm kind of glad pro golfers are in that group of people being attacked like us, because they have a voice, they have money, they can help fight this a lot more than like John and I can. We're all 5 of us, there's only so much we can do with money and stuff. I mean, we can get our voices heard and try and get other people to get their voices heard, but we can't do as much with money and power and manipulation.
Lobbying.
Yeah, that's what it's called, lobbying.
Same thing.
But it is. I mean, you guys, I just felt like we had to talk about this, because this is some of the stuff that when we get to the gig economy stuff over the next few weeks, it's going to make a lot more sense, and it's going to feel balanced, because like I just said to Hannibal, how safe is your W-2?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, how safe is your W-2? And I'm not talking about what we talked about last week. Like, you're probably going to have a bunch of W-2s. Like, if you love being at Microsoft, how safe is it on Monday when that happened?
Yeah. And it goes just beyond the unemployment numbers, but I remember the term underemployed. So yeah, you have a job, but it's not enough hours, or the pay isn't good enough. And if you're unemployed, you need more than one of these jobs. So the numbers need to be more, like I said, honest, but that's not going to happen. Numbers need to make certain people look better than how the situation is. But yeah, the pain is coming. I mean, I think we all agree that there's more pain coming for a lot of us workers out here.
I felt like even, and this is pre-pandemic when I actually had a W-2, like I never felt job security in what I was doing. So I can't imagine what it's even like years later with job security these days. I feel like I've been out of the W-2 for, years now, but man, if I didn't feel it then, I can't imagine what it's like now.
I think I've never. Go ahead.
No, I was saying if you're in a business and things are doing well, like things are going well, you can see it. No one's hiding it. There's no kind of like BS, and you are providing a lot of value. Probably providing more value than you're getting paid for it, which is bad. But but at the same time, like they value you in this company, that you probably are going to be fine. But let's say, for instance, like if you're in a strip club or you're a stripper and there's no one coming into this club, well, you better have to start looking for a job, because the money's not coming in, no matter how well you are at this possession.
If you're the number one stripper there, though, you're going to get a larger majority of the money.
If I was a stripper, I would be the lowest, right? So I'm like, I got to find a job. This is not working out. Then when the pandemic was booming, they had the checks flying. There's no checks coming. I'm not getting any money. So I got to take my G-string and go find a regular job. That's where you need to be more, I guess, self-aware of the situation, if that makes any sense.
Love your analogy.
Aren't strippers $10.99 though?
Shit.
Whatever. That's the point. They got to go get a job.
Either way.
But just real quick, look at Amazon years ago. Everybody's just like Amazon, and now look, I don't know.
Even Jeff Bezos doesn't work at Amazon no more.
And what positions are getting laid off? Like if you're a high-ranking developer, are you getting booted out? I don't know. It depends on where are you on this.
Well, you also got to look at, how many did they hire before they laid off again? Because we'll see this every year. A company, towards, quarter 3, they'll hire 50,000 people. Quarter 1, they're like, oh, sales are down, we're going to lay off 10,000. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, 40,000 people still got a job.
Right. I think the other thing to think about is that a company in general. Oh, you got to read that. That's the whole conversation.
Yeah, it's a whole conversation up there.
I didn't follow any of it. I just saw
it came off of this comment right here.
Oh,
okay. But anyways, I was going to say I was chuckled for my juvenile humor. I forgot it.
John forgot what he had to say.
We was talking about layoffs, John. Layoffs.
Oh yeah, okay. It's layoffs.
It was different comments that just got
okay. So Okay, so where I was going with the layoffs is that during a good economy, every company is going to hire more because they'll make less profit, but they'll make bigger chunks of money. And so when things lean up, they're always going to lay off a decent amount. When things slow down, because they're trying to just run lean, but B, in the first quarter, like they mentioned, after doing the holiday hiring, there's always that spring drop off of layoffs.
That's what DoorDash did. That's what Tony Shu's explanation of why he laid off. I think it was 1,200. It's like, oopsies, whoopsies. You grew too fast, guys. We gotta scale it back. I'm like, oh yeah, that's nice. So 1,200.
But I mean, that's how a lot of companies actually do it, though.
That's how they did it with that group of Uber and Lyft drivers in New York City. They moved them down to Austin and said, we're just going to relocate you. And then they said, never mind, we're not even going to do that. Bye. So they fired him twice.
Right.
That's so messed up.
And made him move both times.
Yes, terrible.
That's
we
just
need you to move to
great.
Austin. We're going to move the operation down there. Okay, I'm moving.
I don't think anybody actually believes in job security, because like even whenever I was a safety director for a trucking company, I wasn't going to get fired because guess what? They have to have a safety director. There's nobody else in the company that can do it. I was still actively looking for other jobs, not because I needed one, but just because stuff happens. Companies go under, companies get sold, things like that. Like, I don't think anybody actually believes in job security.
So it's funny you say that, because here's Joe. We know Joe does DoorDash, but absolutely love my W-2. Stoked for him. That's what I said last week. If you love your W-2, it's one thing. But then here's another comment where my W-2 doesn't give me job security, and I guess that's the big question. There is, what defines job security?
If you work for the government, or you work in some bureaucracy, if you work somewhere where it's not for profit necessarily, you're like you work as a cop or you're a fireman, where those type of things taxpayers are paying.
Municipal, city, or government jobs. Yeah,
which is probably not the most. Cops.
But what about other jobs? I guess I'm saying
those are probably not
all the other ones.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think job security, it's not. You don't want to get too comfortable, I guess, if that makes sense. So I agree with you guys on that point.
Yeah, so I guess I have to, in my mind, like, if you have one of those secured government jobs and that's what you like, and you make good money and you're stoked, and good for you, you are secure. But let's take that out of the equation. If all the corporation jobs in publicly traded companies, which is what I'm calling a W-2. So this comment here, my W-2 doesn't give me job security. Okay, this person knows that it doesn't give them job security. And I guess I'm asking, what defines that? What defines I don't have job security, or I'm set in my job if it's not government? Like, who would answer? I'm fine with my job. I would never be one of the 10,000 Microsoft.
It's about position.
It'd have to be position in the company. Yeah, it'd have to be, because
even that. You're
because like if you're CEO, the chances of you getting laid off. You would have to be a terrible CEO,
right?
Or anybody. I would say anybody upper management is probably safe as long as they're doing a halfway decent job.
I don't know, man.
Like companies that are expanding, like in my area, like they're building a Netflix studio right down the street from me that's gonna generate thousands of jobs in my area. I feel like my area is constantly building something. So, out with the old jobs and with the new jobs, and I feel like it's up and down, up and down, up and down.
It depends on. We always say it depends on your market. There are certain states that are booming. And there's some states that you should leave. Like, I live in a state that you probably should not be here. But if you go to
Hannah was like, get out.
Yeah. Tennessee, I've heard like the jobs, there's what is a booming economy there. Or I don't know, Texas. I don't know if it says bottom out is on Texas. Yeah, I don't know, everyone went over there already. But there's certain states that are coming up. They're not, let's say, thriving, but they are building jobs and opportunities. So, I guess that's another thing you could do, move, even though that doesn't sound very. That's kind of expensive.
Yeah, that shouldn't be part of the equation, though. You shouldn't have to pack up your life and move.
Sometimes you have. I
get it. I get sometimes you have to, but I'm saying, like, overall, you should be able to tough through a tough time. stay where you are and
Try
just,
and go
even if
tough
you have to
through
remap.
tough time in New York City, man. That's the real
Yeah.
part.
Hey,
That's the
man,
real
you know
New
what?
York, you can make it anywhere.
Again, it goes market to market though too. Like, you know, the cost of living in all of our different locations. I mean, I know that a lot of us are actually pretty close, and we're all very high. Hannibal's probably a little higher than all of us, but to be honest, like Denver's no joke. I mean, this place is expensive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Phoenix has even gotten pretty expensive,
Phoenix,
right?
Phoenix has gotten up. It's not as low as it used to be. It's more of, I think that it's, but it's gone up. It's gone up. I mean, I was looking at
I
the
mean,
price of
yeah.
eggs the other day. It was like $7.50 for an 18-pack. It's like,
Yeah, and I mean, I know Kim's is probably, you know, a fair cost of living there. Gary
Yeah,
too.
It's
Mine's
expensive.
cheap.
Gary,
Mine's
No,
cheap.
well, one of
mine's
your
not.
locations.
Well, one
isn't.
of my locations is cheap. The other one, it's not too bad.
They always, some people say that, I don't know, because I've lived in New Jersey my whole life, but if you come into New Jersey and from out of state, a lot of people struggle living with the cost of living in New Jersey. But if you've been in New Jersey like your whole life, then you're used to the way of living of New Jersey. It's expensive.
You're used to being robbed.
I mean, we have the highest car insurance in the whole entire United States. Property taxes are ridiculous. It's tough.
Yeah.
Did you see Rodney's comment?
Walmart has had their own delivery drivers for a while, but they've already made that statement that they're not getting rid of Spark drivers.
Do you
They've already
trust?
said that. Well, there's too many orders for them.
yeah, their delivery drivers
I
are
know,
like
I
the
know.
big box vans.
I'm not saying
Right.
it's happening.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that it's something we've talked about that maybe they're modeling. I think everybody's safe for a while, kind of thing.
We're
But,
safe
you know,
forever according to Walmart because there's too many orders per day for them to staff that many employees. I mean, look at the registers. I mean, they got 100 registers in there, and they got 3 of them going. I mean, you really think they're going to send
even when
out
they had
300
employees,
vans
even
a
when they had
day?
employees, though, they had it that way. Like Tony was
Right.
Tony Drivendad was a manager of security at a Walmart in Denver, and he's told me some stuff about Walmart that is interesting for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like Walmart invests all their current employees to filling the orders, not delivering them.
That's
Yeah.
where it's their biggest growing segment right now is their online.
Yeah, they're trying to compete with Amazon, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I know with my Walmart during the holiday season, they only had like 1 or 2 drivers in those vans, and I thought it was interesting. They all wore body cams, which I found very interesting. But even with those 2 or 3, maybe even 5 employees that they had delivering, they couldn't keep up with the demand of the delivery, especially the .com orders, getting them out as quickly as possible. So I personally don't think it's going anytime soon.
Yeah, I think that's what they majority deliver is those .com orders with those big vans, almost like the Walmart version of UPS.
Right. Or even like what I see at Sherman-Williams when I'm doing curry. There's only one Sherman-Williams that actually has the blue trucks or vans, and there'll be like 6 of them there because it's like a mega center. The other 2 are these little tiny locations where you'll never see a van. You know what I mean? It's so I get all that, but
I find this comment funny here. They did take out all the man checkouts, but then they have like 7 employees that watch everybody check out.
Right. Well,
That
that's
happens
a question.
everywhere.
That's
so
a question
annoying.
we need to have for Tony because he was in charge of security.
Yeah.
That job must have been insane, dude.
Was it you that
Security
we
at
was
Walmart.
talking about this, Steve? That Walmart was saying that they might have to start shutting down stores because of theft.
Yeah.
You know,
It wouldn't
like
surprise me.
what do you expect when everybody's checking themselves out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Tony.
man.
Every day somebody's getting away with something.
There's
Well,
Tony right
in
there.
my own Walmart, when shop and delivers, like I was doing one after another, it slowed down. But when I was going in, every time you get to know the employees, they get to know you, they know you by name, and like I would come in, they go, Kim, we caught another Spark driver, trying to get through checkout and take some stuff. Like it was like almost a daily occurrence with Spark drivers because they were loading the baskets with the customer stuff and their stuff, thinking that they can just walk out. But they do those random checks with their guns, and that's how they were finding them. So it's everywhere, unfortunately.
Yeah. But John has a story too that I also looked at, but that he's going to talk about. But before I do want to talk about this. So we'll move out of that, and obviously we'll talk about this a little bit each week because there's more coming. But Instacart, there's an Instacart story here, and since you started doing it, Kim, I want to put this to you, even to me, even to everybody. But and no, it's kind of weird because Instacart shoppers banned after woman checks Kroger receipt. Now, we've talked about this. Do they get the receipts? They don't, but there's a way to get it. If you're getting the receipt, so you're getting a receipt from the store, why are you seeing Instacart prices on the store receipt?
I was a little confused, honestly, by this because we as drivers keep the receipt. So how did the lady see the receipt?
Well, so you're not supposed to give the receipt.
Probably because a driver like me, I'll give it to him.
There's a method where it literally will tell you that you have to give it to them. So I don't know what is on the customer side, but there's a way they can get it.
I would give it to him. I don't care.
It could be by accident where some people may just
every bag, man.
Yeah, shopper may have just and then forgot to put it
stapled to my dumpling card. Like, if you want to pay these prices on your receipt instead of straight up being robbed, call me.
I signed up for dumpling yesterday, so
there we go.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What are you gonna do? Not grocery shopping, apparently.
Well, actually, Steve gave me a good idea. So, I have a few keys to clients that walk their dogs, and I'm thinking like, hey, I could probably drop a message. Hey, if you want me to shop for you, and I'll do some shopping. I already have the keys. I can put the stuff in your fridge anyway. So I'm gonna throw that out
walk
there.
Your dog.
Yeah, I'm already
pick up the groceries on the way and make a bunch of money.
With one dog in the morning. So yeah, I don't mind spending half an hour, 45 minutes doing a shop. So I'm gonna throw it out there. If that works out. Yeah.
I mean, it's not Instacart. He's not doing Instacart to.
Are you gonna give him like 20 items or less?
That would be nice. I mean, actually, that's a good idea that Steve had. I actually like the people. Like it's not much of a client that may want to take advantage or like there's a lack of trust there. So right. I'll see what I'm gonna do in terms of the pricing adjustments. But since we have a good rapport already, even if they want to go a little crazy, I'm not gonna get too upset because I like their dog, I like the people. So I'm gonna keep it small. Like a few clients here and there. I'm not gonna enterprise, not yet.
Not to have like five kids who are like, oh, thank you.
I wouldn't limit. It's one thing if you just want to limit your customer to one or to two or to 5 or to 10, but I wouldn't limit what they order. I would let them go nuts on their order. I mean, because if you're going to do it right for them, shop for them.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I was saying to him, like, don't you have one or two that you think you could just instantly pitch this and they would be like, yeah, dude, I'll do that.
Exactly. That's why I was like, that's a good idea. I'm going to try that out.
And he probably does. So there's one or two. And, I mean, but anyway, so this Instacart thing says, that the lady who's talking here that says that she's been ripped off and she's now been looking at the receipts after not looking at them for a while. She says that the delivery person who was picking up her groceries spent about $40 on random food items she didn't want or receive. So I'm curious about this because I thought Instacart, unlike Dumpling, I thought Instacart had a better handle on your spending. Like I didn't know you could just go ballistic and get stuff that's not on the list. And
well, nothing like did substitute or like fake said the customer added it.
Can't you? Okay. I mean, I've only done 5 shops, so I'm no expert on Instacart whatsoever. But I think on top, can't you add like shipped items to the customer's cart if they request it when you're shopping?
I would just think each time you did that, there's an alert. Hey, he added this. He added this. I mean, there's got to be.
You would. That's ideal. You would hope that they have that system in place. I don't think they do.
And say unless this customer is, I'm just speculating, might be one of those customers that don't respond to the text messages that her shopper is sending her, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, I spent extra $40. Where did this come from?
Yeah.
So I see Bud Soda making comments about it, and DD and Insta in here. So I'm going to ask him, Bud Soda, how on earth would somebody go about, and how do they have the ability? I do on Dumpling, but on Dumpling, I don't even need them to order one item. They can give me a screenshot of a piece of paper, and I can just go shop for whatever they need. But how on Instacart are people getting $40+ of their own groceries on shops?
I'm telling you, they're just adding it to their cart
And I
and then
think,
checking out.
yeah, I think Instacart is probably slow in making sure that doesn't happen, or at least checking it or clearing it. I think it's probably something that's probably happening more often than we think.
Well, okay. I think what Steve's getting at is how is the card processing it
Because
if it's over the amount. But
Because
what
just
I
like-
think it is I think they give a variance in the totals. You know, like so if
But
your
it's their-
total's $100,
their totals are jacked anyway, though.
right? But then that's what I'm saying. If they estimate the total's 100, they might give you 125.
No,
Well-
but what I'm saying is if, say, I'm the shopper and Hannibal is my customer, Hannibal says, Kim, I didn't put, I don't know,
A turkey,
tissues.
2 turkeys.
Two
Let's make it
turkeys on
something
my
expensive.
order.
2 turkeys, yeah.
Right. And you go and you can actually, there's a little thing up top that you can actually add and scan in the 2 turkeys. Oh, see? I was right.
So okay, Holly,
But I bet you
Once
this
it gets
because
added to the list and gets added to the app, then I'm assuming Instacart calculates it on their end that, hey, this person added 2 $20 turkeys to the
Wait,
order, so
yeah,
I
'cause-
need to add $40 to the card. So when you go to check out, it's already electronically in the system because you added it to their shopping cart.
Yeah, because when you order from Instacart, they will, and you finish your order to get it shipped, they charge you more than what you paid. Like
Right.
if you check it, they clear it. I don't know how much money it is, but they clear
right,
a little bit more than
they
you
run a
already paid.
pre-auth for $25
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah, so it would make sense that someone who would be a little nefarious can slip in something and you may not know unless someone actually checks.
the customer said they didn't check their bills, so they weren't
Yeah.
checking. So I bet
Yeah.
you the other
I
thing
know,
is this
but
customer
man, like,
probably
what
shop
you're
for them before they know it's a customer that doesn't respond. They're like, okay, I'm just
Okay,
gonna take
John,
advantage
but
of
like
this.
check this out. Like you shop for your own groceries.
Right.
Let's say that you spend $100 every week, and now you're just kind of sick of doing it. You don't want to do it anymore. You're laid up for a couple weeks or whatever. You got to have somebody do your shopping. You know exactly what it costs at the store. You're ordering through Instacart, and you're like, "Whoa, dude! I spend 100. It's 140, and I'm going to tip 150. Okay, that's the Instacart markup, processing, all that fees, and you're putting the tip on. But no, let's say you do that for 2-3 weeks. It keeps coming out around that right around that area, and then all of a sudden you're seeing 190 for the same groceries. Even if you're not looking at your receipts, aren't you going to go, wait, what's going on here?
But that's the whole thing. The customer wasn't looking at them. They weren't looking at them for a bit of time, and then when they did look at them, that's when they saw it. So I mean, that was the whole thing. The customer didn't look at the receipt.
I guess I
They
just
did, they
I
saw it.
thought Instacart was a little more locked down in
No.
like no, I mean alerting to like, hey, okay, like Gary was saying, maybe $25. But if you go over that, like, hey, little siren to go off on the app of the customer side to say, hey, man, this guy's going crazy on this order. I don't know what you did.
All these turkeys
Did
are
you
getting
add
brought.
$200 to the
Steve, as
$50
much faith as much as you hate Instacart, you actually have faith in them
Yeah,
for
I'm
something.
confused with Steve. He's like, this Instacart should have no.
They're not
No,
smarter
they
on
don't.
Instacart.
Okay, so wait a minute. So I can go take a $9 Instacart order for 30 items. I can add $250 worth of groceries for me, and clearly I'll be deactivated. But that's that. They're mine. I'm done. Like,
Hey, one and done.
But you're trying to rob them. It's just
No, I'm
taking
not trying
buying
to.
an
I'm not
extra,
going to. I'm just
putting extra,
asking. I'm just
but
asking.
sneaking an extra $30 seems like something that it can happen. And as long as no one's checking the bill, you can walk out and you can
Well,
keep
so-
doing this.
And that's
Especially
kind
with the big
and
bill.
that's
It's
kind
like
of
already
my point,
$200.
Hannibal, is that if you do Instacart a lot, you could sneak in 15 on everybody and be paying for your groceries all the time.
Right.
10,
6 pairs
15.
instead
You
of
keep it
5.
small, and you could just be like, pff, like, oh my god.
Mhm.
Hey, thank you guys for the super stickers. Appreciate it. Flex for the super chat. I didn't see who did the super sticker, but
I think it
Trout.
was Trout.
What's up, Trout?
Thanks, Trout.
Hey, Marion. Hey, everybody that just popped through. What's up, Monroe?
But yeah, I can see that, and I know. But okay, it seemed like But you get in trouble if you use the bonuses and the member perks from the store, right? You get in trouble for that. So that seems to catch
Instacart.
faster or more likely to get you in trouble rather than actually spending more money.
Well, because then you steal it from Instacart. That's different. You steal from the customer. You can't steal from Instacart.
There's a line here. You can't cross.
Okay,
it.
but when the customer catches that problem, isn't Instacart going to owe them? I mean, my guess is they don't let it go to court. They probably just pay the customer back.
No, they pay and probably deactivate the shopper. I think
right, but I'm saying if the customer's like, hey, I just looked at my bill and I haven't been looking the last 4 times, and this many times I didn't get these items. I'm as bad as business as it seems like. I would think Instacart might just pay you that money. Oh, what do you take? 200 total? Here you go.
Well, this is what they do. They probably pay the first time.
But this is where there's shady shoppers. Shady shoppers, that should be a thing. That's where shady shoppers are. They get greedy. Like, would you really, as a customer, really know if you have like an extra $5, $10, you sneak 1 or 2 items in? But once they like do it a couple of times, they're like, oh, well, maybe I can sneak $40, maybe I can sneak $50, and that's when the stupidity kicks in and then you're deactivated. Like,
Greed gun could catch especially if you got away with it once. It's like not worth it. It's not worth it.
No, it's not worth it at all.
Be honest, people.
I mean, it's also completely unethical, and I would hope that more people than not. But after that survey, I know a lot of people question that survey, but after that damn survey, I'm like, okay, well, I don't have much faith left in these people anymore.
I'm saying there's some shady people out there.
Stealing
There's
my
always going to be
Amazon.
10%.
Come on, man. Like, but thank you, Red, for the super sticker, by the way, and thank you, Thomas. I just saw that. That's awesome, you guys. Thank you. But so here's the thing. So wouldn't you? It seems like this is the way Instacart shoppers are subsidizing. We're stealing the groceries. We're stealing your packages, pissing on your house,
eating your food.
Yeah, we're eating.
But how do people live with themselves? Like, that's what I like. I would never, ever in a million years think of even something like this. It's just
what Holly said too.
It just baffles my brain.
Yeah, I think someone probably sleep really well.
Those are like yellow.
See, what my curiosity
they're sleeping on a full belly.
Is somebody crossing their own ethical line because they're like, and not because they don't have bread to feed their family, but because they're mad at Instacart.
I'm sure that's like, some
of
them, and you can rationalize any kind of behavior.
Food out of this,
yeah, but it's still bad though. But
well,
yeah,
I mean, you can't get away with it a lot though. I mean, is it really gonna make you feel that good about yourself that you stole somebody else's stuff, or you robbed, or you
I think they probably
to a customer's order?
They probably think that Instacart, they'll get the money back from Instacart. They're probably going to figure they're getting deactivated, but they're going to get that that whatever they're going to get for themselves in that meantime.
And they don't think they're gonna get caught either. Like, Walmart's too big. It's one item. Who's gonna know? No one's gonna know. Like, I think it's just more like they don't think they're gonna get caught.
Or they don't care if they get caught.
Okay, so I guess that's another point I have is like, if they do get caught, are they going to get in any trouble? Like,
what is it just like you stole from deactivated
people? You're not working on this platform anymore, or are they going to be like more than a slap on the wrist?
Well, according to the article, Instacart has a 0 tolerance.
I'm sure they do. I am
Sign up
sure
on their cousin's account.
Instacart. I have a 0 tolerance for Instacart. So we're even. Like,
well, especially with Instacart, if a story becomes.
But I'm not going to go steal groceries.
Yeah, don't do that.
Just their customers.
Just their customers.
I'm just turning their customers on to better things.
Yeah. He's educating them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not doing anything wrong, pretty much. I mean, I'm an independent contractor. I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Like I told you guys, I think I've told everybody here, like, I've already talked to my lawyer, who's a friend of mine. Will I take it to the court? No. But if Instacart were to let me go and say, you gave your card out and you can't do that, you're deactivated, I'm actually going to have a letter written to him by my attorney saying that I was within my legal right to do what I did.
Mhm.
So if I can get them to say that I was deactivated for doing that advertising, they're going to actually have a little bit of an issue,
Right.
because they're going to literally be, no, he's an independent contractor, but this, and well, it can't be but that if he's an independent contractor. He's allowed to do what he's doing.
Yeah. And as long as you're doing the complete shop, by the book.
Yeah,
Great customer service.
I'm not doing extra groceries. I'm not taking them. I'm not pissing on your house. I'm not eating your food. I'm not stealing your packages. And what was the other thing too? Breaking packages for no reason. Like, that was a weird one.
Who's this person? Who's doing this?
Oh, you weren't here.
That sounds like the Grinch.
That was the study from WGN.
Oh, okay.
But
Wow.
they asked drivers, and these were the drivers' answers. Hannibal, 80. What was it?
80%.
80% of people working delivery space have eaten food of customers.
Right.
That's outrageously high.
4 out of
It was
5.
80%.
I don't
Is what it
think
is.
so.
When
That's
I
a
did,
weird group
when
of
I did
people.
the para panel last week, we had 4 people,
Yeah.
and one of them had eaten it and admitted it.
Wow.
So, okay, there's 1 in 4. That's 25%.
Wow.
I mean, I know
I've never.
that's a lot.
mean,
That was a live video too. Like, most people wouldn't say it.
That's why I was wondering. Like,
I've never been in trouble with the law, so like I don't like jail at all.
Again,
so
guys,
like,
this doesn't mean you're taking every bag and eating all the food.
No, but just one is
meant at least
shocking,
one
though.
time have you taken a fry? Even have you done
No.
it? Have you ever?
No.
Eaten?
never.
Right. I agree.
I
but-
would just eat. I would just go and order the food. Like if I was that hungry, I would order another. Like maybe wait a little longer. But if I'm that hungry, I would get something of my own. I wouldn't even think about it. It's kind of
Was
crazy.
that the same survey that you said that there's a certain percent of people that were peeing on people's houses?
yeah,
9%.
Yeah.
9%.
9%.
1 out of 10.
Now, if there was 80, I'm like, okay, that makes more sense.
Right, so basically 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 11. However you
No,
look at it.
nobody can hold their bladder.
If you order DoorDash 11 days in a row, your house is getting pissed off.
I may just pick up a food then.
I'm gonna walk around my house with a black light now.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna be upset. You're gonna knock
Like,
him off.
oh.
Oh man.
We should test that theory, Steve. You should order 11 days in a row. See if anyone pisses on your house.
Just to have Max on the roof with like some rock salt gun.
No, you got to set up some cameras outside so we can record it.
All right, I will admit this right here that nothing.
Now you gotta set the edge of my seats.
I'm not near my house. I gotta go, and this is where, and especially in our area where it was really difficult to go to a restaurant and ask to use the bathroom. They won't let you use it. So I had to pee outside. So there's been a few times. Now I didn't go to someone's house.
No,
but I try to find somewhere in the dark to
and I
go
think
use the
that was the
bathroom.
point. It wasn't. So this survey was like supposed to get the most honest answers out of drivers. Honestly, and it wasn't your normal 100-person survey. I think it was done of 500 people or 1,000 people. So it was a bigger survey. But I mean, I think they were just that's what it was really coming down to. It just happened that 9 out of 10 had. Again, do they do it every time? No, they had done it.
Yeah, done.
Well, see, I have a question. See, if like Hannibal, you live in New York, so if you had to go and you go in an apartment building, does every one of those people count as you pissing on the side of their house?
But see, but that's the thing. I would not do it anywhere near any. Like I would try to find like usually I do it at night, right? Like I go out at night. So like somewhere in like a park, it's shady, but I gotta go and I gotta go. So you try to find a dark area, and then you do your business. Now it's never the other thing. It's just to urinate. But I think the last time I did it, it freaked me out because I saw the biggest raccoon I've ever seen in my life. It was staring at me. I was staring at it, and it kind of walked towards me. It looked like Coca-Cola, but it looked like the biggest thing I've ever seen. And it freaked me out a little bit because I don't. Raccoons are cute, but they're just too big.
They're not when they get close though, because you remember all the bad things about them.
They got rabies, and
they got rabies for sure.
I'm out. I'm exposed. So I think that was the last time that I okay, make sure I'll drive back home sometimes. But now restaurants, you're allowed to at least ask to use the bathroom, and they have to let you use the bathroom, which is sad that I
But
had
it's
to
a
put
right
that together.
now.
But almost everywhere else, a lot of places for dashers and stuff don't allow you to use the bathrooms. I
Really?
mean,
Yeah.
you could probably sneak it and whatever. You can just go do it without asking.
What do you mean don't allow you?
What do you? As I said, what do you mean that'll
That was
allow
a long
you?
time. I feel like
Like-
nowadays they do. Let me like.
Like-
I
like-
don't know.
people-
I mean, there's a couple
don't
sit-down
ask.
restaurants here, right? There's a couple sit-down restaurants here with a hostess station though that like will tell you to go next door.
Oh, I just walk right past them like I'm already dining, go to the restroom, and then I come back to the front and say, "Yeah, I got a pickup." What are they gonna do?
There's
Right,
multiple
but,
times
but
I do
I'm
that.
telling you, this is the type of place where they're going to be like, "Excuse me, where are you going?"
I'm gonna tell them.
Exactly.
Mike,
The
to the
snooty
bathroom.
places. You're talking about the snooty places, not
A lot
like
of
your.
deliveries are done from these places.
Yeah.
I don't care. It can be a $200 a plate place.
They'll be
and I'm
like,
walking
"Excuse me,
right past that
Excuse
lady.
me, we have a very
going to the
nice
restroom."
bathroom for our customers, but there's a real shitty one next door for you.
I've never heard of that.
I've never had no.
Apparently,
It
I'm
exists.
the
It
wrong
exists.
places.
I mean, I know it's not the pandemic. I know it's not everybody going, "No, that's my bathroom." Like,
Yeah.
I just go home.
You just go home.
It's a sad society we live in that people even have to ask or be rejected to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
you know
Like-
what, Gary? You and I were talking. Oddly enough, we were talking about the Adam Sandler movie, the golf one, Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
But you know what? Now I'm thinking of Big Daddy. Do you remember the scene in Big Daddy when he takes the kid into the restaurant?
Yeah. I remember
And he's
that.
like,
Yeah.
"Hey,
Yeah, I
he needs to
remember that.
use the bathroom," and the guy's like, "No, sorry, sir." And then he takes the kid outside and says, "Piss on the place."
Yeah.
Like-
See, like if you, it depends on, like, I think there's a lot of people, a lot of delivery drivers felt a certain way. It's like, wow, you want us to deliver the food for you guys, but you won't let us use the bathroom because we're not good enough to use the bathroom, but you want these orders to leave. So that's why in New York City they had to mandate these restaurants to allow delivery drivers to use the bathroom. That's how sad that is.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
I'm
had to,
not-
they
I'm
had to
making a very
mandate them
extreme-
to be nice.
This is a very
It's so
extreme
bad.
comparison, guys, but I think we all can agree that, like, you guys know, I actually try and give money to this. So I mean, like, this is a big deal to me, but like the homeless can't go to the bathroom anywhere. They're not allowed to ever walk into a location.
No, maybe
So there
Starbucks.
is, I mean, there's
certain
clearly
places,
a line
but, yeah.
where humanity loses it and just says no.
Yeah.
Even at a diner type place, like the Denver diner won't let a homeless person go there, and it's just a diner. I mean, it's probably like the one shot he thinks he has. Like, okay, I know I can't go to the 5-star restaurant, so I'm here. Like, they're gonna say, "Get the hell out."
Yeah.
I mean, so clearly there's some kind of gauge they're told, or they just think where it's like, that guy's not worthy of using the bathroom. He needs to go.
Well, it's a stereotype to think, "Oh, that guy's going to use our bathroom to do drugs," and then that's unfortunate
Yeah.
that they take anybody that's homeless and they put them in that category. And there's a
Yeah.
lot of people that are homeless and they're not like that.
Steve, you should dress up as a homeless person and go see how many restaurants let you come in and use the restroom. I mean, you're pretty close already. But
I knew that was coming.
Dirt and,
You just
That's
need to wear that the Christmas sweater, and you're all good.
oh yeah,
there you go.
the Christmas.
No, they would
sweater,
not
like
let
an
you
old
in the-
ripped
They
flannel
would not
over
let
it.
you in the facility
The
walk in with a
boobs are
shirt like
coming
that.
out, like a beanie over my eyes.
So I'm like, hey. Okay. Right.
You know, like some plastic bags for shoes.
Yeah. Well, they say no shoes, no service.
But okay. Well, I'm just curious about that because I found that interesting. That now I'm wondering now how many of these Instacart shoppers do this on a regular basis. And even if it's not a ton, they're adding 1 item, 2 item, 3 item, even if it's a snack.
I'll be picking
Maybe
up
they're just adding a
soda,
candy
picking
bar and a
up
Red Bull for themselves
bag of
right then.
Snickers, a
It's
thing of
possible.
Skittles.
This is probably happening a lot.
It's
Way
happening
more than I
more
guess
than
I was
what we
thinking
know.
about is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it's not because I thought that it wasn't happening. I'm just now that I read about it, I now I'm thinking, well, I bet you this is even happening more, just on a much lower scale.
What do you
Wait.
think the percentage is?
Like
Of
how many
people
how many Instacart shoppers who have done it for more than a month have ever got 1 item, even
Right.
1 item?
Right.
90%.
we gotta put a poll. We gotta put a
That's
poll
ridiculous.
out. We gotta put a poll out.
There you
So
go.
this is what I think people do. I think they actually do it a more slicker way. What they'll do is they'll find something that the customer wants or that the customer's getting that's getting 2 or 3 of, and they'll be like, "Well, you're only getting 2 of those."
Oh, get an extra one.
They're like, "Oh, I guess that
Jacking
fell
it
out
up.
the bag."
Yeah.
Exactly. When you have like you see 50 items but 60 units, you go and one of them's 3, you just add a fourth.
No,
Exactly.
They buy the 3,
Whoopsie.
they take the 1. Yeah. If
Yeah.
you buy 5 Snickers, you get 4 delivered.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess I just hadn't really thought about this too much, like, because I always know there's weird, bad things going on, but you read about this and then your head starts going with like, dude, how many people have probably done this then? Because these are people trying to get away with murder at 40 plus. But how many people have gotten a pack of gum?
Can you do the same thing with?
You know what? Whatever, dude. They don't know the prices anyway. They don't get the receipt, and they're paying 15 to 20% more for the groceries than they would anyway. There's no way they could break this down. I'm getting a pack.
But it seems like Instacart unethical practices of doing the upsells and the upcharges that just now you brought like economy, a community of people who are unethical to take advantage of that as well. So it's like
now you're making it so easy. You're making it almost easier to do it, even though the prices are more, because the people are like, oh, that's the Instacart prices. I don't know. That never makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Can you do the same thing with Shipped and Walmart whenever you're doing shopping orders?
So I think the shipped,
Yeah, but
You
I don't know
but
about you, John, but
they
whenever I've
actually-
like shipped shoppers are a lot better, or shipped customers are a lot better about being in communication, I think. Like if I've ever said, hey, they're like, what? Like they're not like just gone.
Well, so with shipped, a lot of people have probably had bad substitution experiences because a lot of people apparently just substitute willy-nilly. And so that's probably why. But for Walmart Spark, they can't do that because Spark doesn't even let you talk to the customer. If it's not on the list, they don't let you add nothing to the list.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
But
So-
Ship, they send you like they send the customer what you added to their cart. So they actually get a notification your shopper added a pen to your cart. So they actually have it in their feed what we added to their cart. I don't know whether Instacart does that or not.
Right. That was the other thing I asked earlier. Isn't there an alert that pops up and maybe they just don't ever look at? I don't know.
It's possible. Yeah, I think it's more of an alert thing, and yeah, I think a lot of Instacart customers are probably not as engaged to communicate to catch some of these issues because you get caught, or it's a shopper and you're nefarious anyway. Where you're like, oh my bad, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. And you move on, and then you find another shopper that you probably another customer to take advantage of. So I think a lot of Instacart customers are just not following up on what's happening currently when they're getting stuff shopped.
I guess, it's harder for me to understand this too, because I'm going to be honest. I've never used Instacart as a customer.
Oh,
I never have. I've never said, bring me my groceries.
Yeah, it's like every other app.
And seeing how it works.
You should.
No, I hate them. I don't want to support them.
For science.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know both sides,
You've already taken a big
Tip
one
them
for
very
those
well,
DoorDash
Steve. So you'll be the
things I'm
second
doing.
person delivered while they delivered a no tip order first.
No.
Hey, you know what?
I
You
ain't
could probably
touching this.
order it. You could probably order it and then sign in the driver app and go do it yourself.
Don't do that.
Why would I do that? They're going to take fees and then not pay me. Like,
Yeah,
Because
and
nobody's
then
Take
deactivate
your
you.
crappy ass orders. Why?
right? You just call them. I didn't know how to delete it, so I just decided to do the damn shit. Like, forget it. Okay, so moving ahead though, John, because this is big news because it's a big merger. It's nationwide. What do you got?
DoorDash is and Starbucks are now delivering together. Before it was Uber Eats would only deliver Starbucks, and now DoorDash has it too, which will be interesting. Number one, because that's a huge partner for DoorDash. That was a big exclusivity for Uber Eats. And that was probably one of the big things that could probably have been supporting Uber Eats' bottom line. So now people don't have to go to another app. They can just get their Dash Pass, get their Starbucks, and there's more DoorDash drivers already. So, yeah.
That's a big deal.
I think so too.
People love coffee. I don't get it. I don't get it, but people love it.
Neither.
They love their
$9
coffee.
coffee at that.
But I love
and that's
my
one of the
cup
good-
of coffee, but I make it here at home.
But if you want to make some money doing food delivery in the morning, the fact that you can use you do deliver a lot of Starbucks, and they're worth taking those orders compared to the other fast food crap in the morning. So that's a good get.
I mean, my guess is that Uber Eats was kind of failing them too, or else they would have stayed exclusive.
There's more Dashers out there, I'm assuming, right? It's got more.
There's more Dashers. They get it done faster. That's the DoorDash thing, hey, we can get that order off your shelf and delivered.
Yeah.
I never had a problem in Starbucks either. Like whenever I did, like they, sometimes you have to wait a little longer, but it's a good system in there. So
they're pretty quick though. I mean, they're like the Chick-fil-A of coffee.
Yeah.
Sometimes yes, sometimes
not as
no.
nice. Not as nice, but
Wait,
as
which
far
one
as
isn't as nice?
Sometimes my Starbucks, you can go in, it's ready, and you can be out the door. There are other times that they are so focused on the customers in front of them, which is fine because they should be, but all of their delivery gets pushed to the side, or you'll see the drinks like lined up, ready to go, but no one is bagging them. So you're like, excuse me, hi, I'm here. Can you bag my order? It's right here. And then they just look at you like, oh. Okay.
Well, that's why I said they're like the Chick-fil-A. They aren't. They're like.
But, speaking of the labor issues, Starbucks have been going through trying to get unionized. There's a lot of people are upset about the services. Yeah, some are unionized. So you may be in a situation in Starbucks where they're not staffed properly. They're probably overwhelmed. Now with the DoorDash, they're going to have a flood of those DoorDash orders. Can they handle them? So I think. If you get a DoorDash order and you go to Starbucks and it looks completely swamped, realize it's are they preparing these staffers to take on all these extra orders from another platform? So you'll see how that works.
Yeah. The last thing I wanted to talk about tonight that I'm wondering if you know about, Hannibal, is this Grubhub. This is from Cranes. If you guys are familiar with Cranes New York, the business section. So this is from today. Grubhub, DoorDash approach compromise with city on 5% marketing fee cap. Now, if you're wondering what that is, that fee cap is exactly what we're talking about, the amount of money you can upcharge food. So there's been no cap before. They're allowed to do whatever they want. But now they're working to push, you can only put 5%. And it's funny to me that they call it a marketing. Or they're putting it into marketing. Really, it's not marketing. It's called upcharging and stealing from people. You morons!
That's a weird way of saying it.
But I mean, nonetheless, it. When I saw that was sad to me too. 5%. So you're going to limit them to 5%. I thought, okay, if you're going to limit them to 2. Like 5 shouldn't be acceptable.
So are we talking about the service fee here, or are we talking about the upcharge on the food?
The food.
Yeah, 5% is a little high.
I mean, dude, if that's what's going on at the grocery store too, or more, if Instacart's charging 5% more on every item,
yeah, you're like, why are they not profitable?
If you are savvy,
I
if
feel
you
like
are trying to
Instacart is
save
more than 5%. I could be wrong.
And I'm with you, Kim. I think so too. I mean, I don't know what that number is, but I think so
either,
too.
But...
So as a customer, you're paying extra 5%. You're paying a service,
and yes, then all the fees.
You have to pay all the fees, and you got a tip.
Yep.
Like that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Well, we know this. Go into any of your apps.
It's a tip for most people.
Go pick it up.
I don't know about you, but sometimes as food delivery, you get those like a cup of coffee or to deliver to somebody. Or I had one time a large Diet Coke from McDonald's to somebody. I'm like, someone's paying a lot of money to get this cup of coffee or this drink. Like, I like, do people even realize how much they are spending just to get this one item?
What's the average person? How many $1,000s in debt? The average person. So I think no, we don't. We spend and spend and spend.
Mm-hmm.
Spend as quickly as we get it, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, last week, Kim, I was telling you that when I was doing the DoorDash science.
The science.
DoorDash science. But when I went and did a 7-Eleven order, I never would have done. And it had 2 bags, and I'm not talking plastic bags. They were like these paper nice with a holder bags from 7-Eleven, like built well. So one of the really big bottles of Gatorade in one, and 5 of the beef taquitos or whatever those things are in the other. I was saying that the product I was taking wasn't worth as much as the bags. I'm not kidding. That kind of stuff adds up, man. So now you got employees like putting like 2 bags out that are costing like 40 cents to 7-Eleven. You know, I'm sure it's not. It adds up, dude. It adds up, you know. I'm just saying it's crazy. Like, I mean, like how and why am I picking up your taquitos, man? If you eat taquitos, it's probably better you walk and get them. So that you get a little bit of healthy in your life, dude, because you're gonna die if you live off.
You know what? I take it back. There is job security because there's a lot of lazy people out there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I always say we will always have the gig economy as long as there are lazy people out in the world that aren't going to go and get either their groceries or their food.
I mean, we've said this many times. We put the stuff in our app. We look at the price. We're like, no, we'll go get it ourselves.
Yeah,
you know. So some people are not like that. I know people that order every day off of these gig apps. I'm like,
it's crazy that those people
wasted money.
Exactly. They're taking a $15 meal, making it cost $25, and doing that repeatedly. That's
if there was an app that, or I mean, there are apps that if you care about your finances, but there should be a way that you could just collect all the fees that you probably paid for the month of delivering every day and see how much money you spend. That's not food. You spent on fees. And to see if that will change your mind on should you continue this behavior, you know, you should go probably pick it up yourself. I think
even an estimator would be good. And if it couldn't be exact, like I did, I spent this much with Instacart. How much of it was service fee? Okay, what was the grocery? So what was the leftover? Because that was the grocery, and then it does some kind of breakdown. What store did you use? And it calculates from the real price, and it says, okay, you overspent on your groceries by 140%, just the groceries. Your service fees are outlandish. And you barely tipped the guy, and he also pissed on your house twice. Like,
came back.
Another good idea from Gary. You could jump
Gary,
on that.
Get on it.
Your banks don't tell you how much you guys spend and break it down for you. Mine does.
Nah, mine just says.
But it doesn't break down the kind of the stats like Instacart, like how much of the grocery is upcharge. It doesn't know that.
Like how much of those extra
nobody's
fees
gonna know that though.
That's why I'm saying an app. That's why we're saying an app, Gary.
But I mean, you'd have to have like internal data from Instacart for that to know.
Right, but you know,
so here's what you got to do. You got to
get on
go
your hacking skills.
Yeah, you got to go shop the order.
Go shop it.
Yeah.
Well, but also you can clearly from the article you can ask for a receipt from Instacart. So the receipt has to be the real prices, right? That's weird to me.
So here's what you could do. Actually, this is what you could do. You can pull up like on a Kroger's or whatever app and pretty much set your order up for pickup there. See all the prices, and since it's pickup, it's going to give you the store prices. Pull up that same exact order on Instacart. Just compare what those prices are, the difference.
I might try that out actually, at least for I think Wegmans. There's a few of those stores that have pick up and see how big the difference is.
Yeah, because that's, but also it might be very dynamic. It might not be like a static 5% across the board. On one item might be 9%, like olive oil might be 9%, and then Campbell's soup might be 1%. Yeah, I don't know. It might be very dynamic, and it's again to try and bury it and hide it in bigger cost items. I don't know.
I think at the end of the day, it'll be interesting to run that because I can think of that might be a little weekend project. Maybe not this weekend, but
I mean, John, you could also just go on the website of King Soopers or whatever, Kroger, whatever, Safeway, and just run because they use the national average, and then if it's under, you'll pay less at your local store, but at least it's close. Run what all the items would be, then order those on Instacart. And then see just how much the grocery portion alone is off the quote you got from the website.
Yeah, I'm gonna come up. We need to come. Yeah, I got an idea. I got a test run down the line. Then I already know I can do that. I'll be interested to see.
Nice. Yeah, John's gonna run a test.
For science. Let's go.
For science.
I need to come up with a standardized group of groceries.
Or just to compare, you can do for eggs. Me.
every
Well,
store.
yeah. But you can do a grocery shop on Instacart, but also do a delivery shop on your local grocery store, whatever it is. So for me, it would be like Acme, just to clear the delivery charges, because
Right.
I know my local, I think it's almost like a subscription. I think it's like $6.99 for free deliveries, comparable to like an Instacart, just to see the price difference, if it would be cheaper to just go through a local grocery store.
Just don't add eggs.
No,
Well-
that's the main attraction.
I mean, we already know it is. You just see how much it is because we
The
already
question
know.
is, who has the cheapest eggs? That's the whole video.
Yeah, right.
So, by the way, guys, before I want to ask Kim about her Instacart experience, but before that, and then I want to let everybody kind of sign us out for tonight. But I want to also congratulate Kim. Kim is crushing it right now, you guys. Like seriously, Kim hit like over 40,000 on an RSG post the rideshare guy.
Nice.
Or on one of her videos. I mean, she's killing it across the board.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
and she was like on Show Me the Money Club, and all that's all good. But I mean, like she's crushing it. She crushed a video with him, and just I know
Kim
some other
works so
things
very
Kim
hard.
does. She's just crushing it across the board, and I really wanted to. We all need to give Kim some mad props here because she's
Well, give props to Kim because she has a great work ethic. I mean, she it's to be in those places, but to consistently put out the content, consistent, be here, be on her lives, and then do all these other things. It's hard work,
Yes.
So
it is.
Thank you.
And
shout out to her
she's
work.
never missed
And she's a mom.
Thursday.
And she has a whole family.
Yeah, she's.
I never missed. No, man.
She's never missed a Thursday since we started this. She's never missed a Thursday, but she has missed her own Tuesdays.
I know.
Ooh.
I know.
But,
Hey,
but
I had very good
times were
reasons
pretty
for
damn
Tuesday.
good excuses.
I know.
Yeah. Well, Steve, I got to talk to you about tomorrow. I'm kidding.
Tuesday was a tough decision. Unfortunately, Tuesday just ran over, and there's no way I could have been in two places at one time.
Yeah, it actually ran
Just
into
put up
your
like a side little.
Sure, you could have. You should just started your StreamYard and
Just put it right
restream
there.
what you was already on.
I for non-disclosure agreements, I cannot do that.
So Kim, before we all close out here, give us Instacart and a lowdown.
I did
First 0 to 10 rating, just straight up, and you can't say anything, just 0 to 10.
I'll say it was my first 5 experiences so far were, I'll say a 4 or a 5. I'm not saying it's the best. I'm not saying it's the worst.
It's pretty bad. It's an F minus.
I'm not
He was
naive.
disappointed that
Also,
wasn't like a negative number.
I'm also not naive to know that I know they send new shoppers, even though I've had it since 2020. But I also know I'm not naive to know that they send good orders to new shoppers, and I know the honeymoon stages and so on and so forth. I went into it with like, okay, I'm gonna do 10 items or under, and get in, get out, even if like they're small shops and small dollar amounts, because I figured with Instacart, it's a good filler, at least from my area. I feel like it's a good filler. So if those like late mornings, even like late nights where like my area dies with food delivery, okay, I'll turn on Instacart. And if there's an order, if it's quick, it's easy, I can turn it, I'll put it into my mix. So that's kind of, what I feel like I'm going to use it for, maybe projects down the road. Don't know.
Okay, but how bad are the orders?
The ones I've seen I've only seen one no tip order yet. Once again, I think I'm still in like the honeymoon stage with them, but I saw
even though you signed up in 2020.
I did. I purposely community posted that picture because I wanted everybody to see that it was 2020 and I had 0 shops done. But I've only seen one that was no tip whatsoever. And I think it was like 17 items for like $7 and I want to say it was like 36 cents, which I think is the base pay for my area. But, the process is easy, that I'll say. I feel like once you've done Shipped, once you've done even DoorDash, it's a very similar process, especially
Pick it
if
up,
you know
scan
your
it.
local grocery stores. So what?
Just pick it up and scan it.
Yeah, pretty much. Go in, you scan, put in your cart, check out, deliver, you're done. You know,
Kim, did you take any extra to, like, you know, did you buy some a turkey or an extra kind of, oh,
no.
Candy
You
bar,
have to wait until she gets to shop
M&Ms.
number 9 to do that.
No. But you know, like it's been an okay experience so far. I'll send you guys screenshots when I get the ridiculous orders, which you know
Like mine.
I have turned them on previously. I just never really saw something that I'm like, oh, let me go and do blank. I'm kind of forcing myself to do it so that way I have another app into my mix during January, February when we're at our slowest times.
See, I think every gig worker has like the set 2 or 3 apps that they work full time,
Yeah.
and then if they can't get anything on those, that's when they start turning on other apps.
When
Right.
they need to have a trickle sometimes, and
Right.
Yeah,
Like if your groove kicks right back into gear from last year, Kim, you're abandoning Instacart. I'm telling you right now.
Right.
Are you saying a 4 or a 5? It's gone.
Yeah, like I said, right now it's good for the slow times. Like you need, in my opinion, at least in my area, I feel like you need those extra apps to keep the wheels going. And that's my challenge for myself during January and February. Like, how do I keep my wheels constantly moving, whether it's Spark, Shipt, Instacart, like having those apps that, you know, are your backups to your backups to your backups to keep income coming in when your top apps that you love and you know they'll come back eventually, they're just not performing right now.
The good thing about Instacart though is even if you haven't worked them in say 6 years, they don't suspend your account or anything. You open it up, sign in your email, password, and you're back. Because my last shop was 2017. But I can still sign into their app, no problem.
6 years later.
I wonder if you have to do any training.
The only thing I had to do,
They probably get a little
I could
red
go
alert,
online
like a
right
siren
now.
goes off, and they're like,
Yeah.
Gary signed in. What the hell?
they
is going on?
actually made it easy. I actually thought I was going, like, once I signed in again, I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to probably reapply. But everything was active. The only thing that they actually popped up first thing was you need a new card. Yours is expired. And they actually put it right away in my Apple Wallet. And I was good to go like seconds later. And then they sent me a new card. But
What I
I
find
was like,
funny
please shop.
is I did get a referral bonus though in 2019 somehow.
But it seems like you were at least updating the app, Gary. You didn't have the same version from 2000, whatever, 17.
No, I just reinstalled it again this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like once I deleted it back then, because back then, like it wasn't a mass drop system. It was sent individually to each driver.
Mm.
You know, it was
Interesting.
just like Uber Eats, you know, individually to each driver. And then I don't know, I don't know when they went to mass drop because I haven't done it in that long, but you know, so that's like I quit doing it in 2017.
Are you going to do some shops, Gary?
No.
Okay.
Don't play. We're taking over the world, man.
Yeah.
But I do also want to say to everybody, we talked about this before. Now I know this firsthand. So Marissa signed up for DoorDash because she's coming into tax season. She's not going to be doing nothing. But she signed up because she signed up through Lisa, the Driven Mom. So they know each other. And she signed up through her link. And what we heard, or what I was told from Nova Dasher, is true. In fact, I think it was even more. Lisa, if she creates 200, or if Marissa does 250 DoorDashes in 60 days, Marissa gets $600 and Lisa gets 900.
Yeah.
I am blown away that this exists. Like that's 1,500. I don't mean
I'm
it
surprised
mean.
that they're still
Is
having
that
those kind of referral bonuses.
That's a bonus though, not a guarantee, right?
No,
for
that's a
Marissa.
bonus.
So it's on top, yeah.
Screenshot everything.
I mean, it's crazy. Like It just seems like they have enough word of mouth and 1.4 million dashers. It doesn't seem like you need to be spending $1,500 a person to onboard.
Well, that's why they're not making a profit.
I'm sure most people don't make it to it either. They quit before 250 deliveries. I mean, that's
What, 250 in 60 days?
yeah.
Yeah.
If you
What's that, like 4 a day, 5 a day?
No, I think that what it came out to, and we did, it was 5 a day, I think is what it was.
So
But so I
part-time.
mean,
That's not bad.
realistically, you're going to do 20 on one day. You know what I mean? You're not going to do
Yeah,
5
200
every day. You're gonna do
250.
20 one day.
they're calculating that most likely the person's not going to make it.
Yeah.
So
Just give it
but
to
yeah,
Bud
but
Soda. He
Because
does
most people that
259
start
a week.
DoorDash, they're
Well,
part-time
see,
DoorDashers.
Let
so
me
they
but
don't
let
get
me
that
add
many.
to this too. Marissa's son goes to CU Boulder to college, and he lives in Boulder as well, so he can take the car in her account and also be working it.
okay, that could work. I mean, obviously that's more full time compared to her busy schedule.
Right. Well, I mean, for her, it was kind
With
of
the
more
bonus.
for testing reasons and science, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, Tremaine.
Lots of science going on.
Dash science.
Well, if anybody needs an Instacart referral, let me know.
2017.
Yeah. Hey, I get. It says I can make up to $400 if I refer somebody.
Oh, Sergio, that's so funny. Last time I tell you a little tidbit of information there, Sergio.
What's up, Tremaine? How you doing? We're just shutting it down tonight, but just glad you joined us there at the end. Same Sergio, good to see you. What's up, Ceci? What's up, Nova? Just say you guys popping in. I don't know how long you've been here, but I think that was a fun night, you guys, and we're gonna rip on out of here, but we'll be back next week. And what's everybody got going on? No, John's got a science project now for the weekend.
I got a science project. I got a Spark video probably coming out in the next 24 hours. Are you down with OGP?
Wait,
Okay.
what?
What?
You down with OGP?
What's that?
Yeah, you know me.
Well,
I
you
know.
got to watch the video.
Yeah.
Well, Kim got it. She's from New Jersey.
OPP, but I know what I knew it was a thing. I just didn't know what the thing was.
Well, you gotta watch the video. That's a good
That's a good-
teaser. Then
that's
I
a
guess it's
tease.
got it's in your mind. Yeah.
He just clickbaited you with words.
Yeah, I gotta check it out.
What is this about?
But Kim, what do you got going on?
I just dropped a video a
tons,
couple
I
hours
know,
ago.
but yeah.
What?
I mean tons, but okay.
Yeah.
You got tons going on, but what's going on?
Like I said, I just did a video today, so that is out. Like I said, I'm doing more informational videos lately just to get information out quicker instead of really long, ride along. So that way, anything I see, I get out and you guys have it firsthand. So I've been doing that lately. I live on Tuesdays. Trying to think what else. Community post shorts, all that fun, happy, joy stuff.
Yeah. Stuff for the rideshare guy.
Stuff for the rideshare guy.
Yeah. I mean, and you guys go watch Kim's video, make a comment on it, smack it, say how awesome she is in the thing so that Harry gets it. And Sergio and I will both bother Harry and make sure he know. Hey, did you notice that Kim's like one of your best people? As
Thank
we
you.
did.
Smack the like button.
It's been an amazing experience, and the team is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I'm like I said, for those of you that already know Kim crushes it, I'm telling you from the behind the scenes look, she's double crushing it. So just know that.
Thank you.
But Hannibal, what about you? Hannibal and I, by the way, Hannibal and I did was it last night? 2 nights ago.
That's funny.
I won't tell Zach that.
But like, it was 2 nights ago. We did a Beyond the Algorithm. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, we broke down more of the dumpling stuff. I think that's going to be something we're going to be talking about for the next couple of weeks. I'm doing more live streams with other content creators. So I think next Tuesday I'm talking to, it's early in the evening, talking to I think it's a Side Hustle 24/7. I think he's around like 5,000 subscribers. He posts content basically daily about cargo van stuff, for a lot of courier stuff, like more of like websites. So he has a lot of that going on. And then the next Tuesday after that, I'm talking to me and Steve will be talking to the Gig Geezer. You guys may be familiar with his channel. And he made a video recently, I think it was like 2 days ago, that he bought a van. He started doing the cargo van stuff. He made 5,000, I think 5,400 in his first month. And I'm like, this is fascinating because he's like one of us doing the apps, and he decided to invest in a van and go and do that. So I'm really interested in hearing his perspective, because maybe it's something that one of us can take that and maybe decide, hey, maybe I should try to, really take it to the next level in terms of courier work. So there's a lot of that kind of content going to be on the channel in the next couple of weeks.
Didn't you have a guy previously on the channel that was
Tavares Little, which he kind of, I feel like he did start as well, but I think with the Gig Geezer it's more interesting because he feels like he's like one of us. He did DoorDash and Grubhub, and he's really good with the numbers and how much profits and stuff that he's putting out. But he went and got a van, he got a Ford Transit or something like that, and he made
the great part about it is like, I'm psyched to be in on that too, because I've actually thought about the van thing.
Yeah,
for work purposes, not as Hannibal, not for Hannibal's hobby of van life.
Van life sucks, but to make money is pretty good. And he said he made 5,400, but he's looking to make more. He's looking to make near 10,000. So I'm thinking 5,400 is pretty good for your first month of the game.
Awesome, dude.
But he's looking to make more money. So I'm really fascinated with his process and what he's learning he's starting. He's a beginner, so I think that'd be really good and valuable for some people who are maybe interested in doing that.
Yeah, and I'm interested if by the time he's on that, if he's not even doing any of the other gig apps, not like closed them, but like if he's gonna be like, I don't even do them now.
Exactly. Nova Dasher.
But Gary, what's up? What you got going, man?
I got the same thing every week. This Driver Nation tomorrow with you, 6 to 8, or was it 7 to 9 Eastern tomorrow? Driver Nation.
But the kid's gone now, so there's a little more unoccupied time.
Well, no, my son hadn't left for boot camp yet. He's February 21st he leaves for boot camp, but he's been staying with his sister. Yeah, he's been staying at his sister's house for since I got back. So. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice empty house. I get to work a lot. Lots of coding.
Yeah. We need a map up on the back of Gary's wall. See now, Hannibal, now we were talking about it on Tuesday. Look at his wall. It'd be perfect. Put the United States map up and we can put pins all over, like for what are hotspots for which apps.
Yeah. I mean,
seriously, we wanted to
be valuable his time to spend doing that.
Steve, you know what, Steve? That's a great idea. I'm only 10.5 hours from you. Drive down. I'll get you the map and all the pins. You can sit here and put it up.
Wait, and you'll leave it up?
Yeah, I'll leave it up.
Okay, I'll be there.
You need a T-shirt that says like eat, sleep, code, like repeat.
Right.
I'm gonna drive down there, put a thing up on Gary's wall, not a green screen, a map.
Yeah,
of the United States, and we're gonna hotspot like
this
is red will be like this is a hot truck, or this is a hot curry area.
There.
Blue will be like this is a good DoorDash market. This is pin up
the United States of gig work.
Yeah, and we'll keep tabs on it. We'll check in and this one sucks now. Pull the pin.
That's gonna be a long drive every time you want to pull a pin.
Can't I just at that point, once I do the original setup, can't I just say, Gary, turn around, pull a Nevada,
pull New York,
Cover Washington down the drain.
But guys, that's all. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure that but for those that might have caught on and first time catching this, make sure you check out every single one of these channels because we all do different things, and I think all these are great channels. Everybody on this panel has a great channel, so check it out, subscribe, like, hit bells, notify, like something else. I don't know. Do everything you're supposed to do to help us out, and it's free. So we'll see you next week, and Gary and I will see everybody tomorrow night on Driver Nation at 7 p.m. Eastern. Good night, everybody.
Peace.